Following the intensive debut of the Motorola Razr, here is the Motorola Q, which is the full-on Windows Mobile 5 smartphone that goes on sale with Verizon on the CDMA network here in the US. The Motorola Q is successful on multiple points. One of them is it follows on the sex appeal in terms of being super slim and really lightweight and portable, yet maintaining a professional, future-esque design. What we loved and kind of disliked about the Motorola Razr is still fractionally available here on this Motorola Q, which is a much more powerful device, as again. First of all, it's got a very spacious screen. It takes advantage, once again, of the entire width of this phone, which is kind of thick, and that is due to the QWERTY keyboard, which is really spacious, easy to text on, and the keys are all risen above the surface to make a super suitable texting experience. Very similar to BlackBerry's, they are slanted to the left and to the right in the middle, and they are really tactile and backlit in this very cool blue-esque design, which is great for in low light conditions to see, and it's just a cool aesthetic overall. On top of the QWERTY keyboard, you'll find access to the 5-way navigation toggle, and a back, a home, a talk end, and 2 soft keys. These buttons are cool in terms of these having this little gel-like experience, but unfortunately they're really flush with the surface, and like we criticized on the Motorola Razr, they're kind of hard to press after you start pressing them for a long, repeated number of times. You might start worrying about the build quality, which is not that great. On the left-hand side of the device, you'll find a beaming and IR port, as well as a mini SD card slot for expanding multimedia functions. On top is a 2.5mm headphone jack behind a flap, which is a cool, flap is a cool addition, but it's really gimmicky because as a strong multimedia device, without a 3.5 standard headphone jack, you are really going to be limited to your playback quality, or you're going to have to use Bluetooth if you can find a good Bluetooth headset. On the right-hand side, we also have access to a full 360-degree jog dial. Unlike a partial one, this goes around and around and around and around, and it keeps on going. We also have a hotkey for accessing different features like the camera, or in different menus that correspond to different features. Found at the back will be this very nice 1.3 megapixel camera, which is a pretty great camera due to the a flash, which is a pretty unique feature on smartphones these days. The flash is really bright and really does visibly brighten up your subjects, which is a great feature to have. So as again, this is a CDMA phone, which means there is no global support just yet for this device, unfortunately. And also there's no Wi-Fi built in, which is kind of surprising for such a powerful smartphone. But there is Bluetooth, like we said, built in. And another feature that we really enjoyed, honestly, was the GPS feature. There's built-in GPS, and with an easy free download of Google Maps, you'll be on the go, and you can maybe replace your GPS if you see that as suitable. Overall, we'll be greeted to a standard Windows 5.0 home screen with a few tweaks for this special jog dial display. For example, everything is easy to access with this navigational control. To access the main menu, again, we're going to press the Start key, and we're going to be taken to this menu system. Internet Explorer is pretty self-explanatory. However, this version of this device has the scrolling function where you don't have to scroll left and right, and you only have to scroll up and down due to the jog dial going up and down, which is a pretty cool feature. We have a download selection guide and a Windows Media Player, which plays your full movies pretty well. However, movies are pretty short, so we can't really show you that. It does show off a little bit of the quality of the screen, which is very good. On longer movies, I think this will be better. Not a lot of stuttering, a little bit of slowness, but overall the screen is bright and crisp and easy to read. It's a great screen for viewing multimedia, as again, there is a tiny bit of viewing angle problems and maybe glare problems in sunlight due to the smudges, but that's nothing too major and distracting due to the adjustable brightness levels of this device. We also have a file manager for looking at your multimedia content, which we can take a look at, and we can look at images and live searches and just a lot of things that you can access. A file manager built right on in is a great feature to have. We have a call history log. There's a messaging log, which is a standard messaging log that you'll be finding from MMS text messaging to Outlook email, and you sync that with your computer, and it's really easy because it's another scrolling up and down feature which is suited to integrate with this jog dial function. All in all, there are basic games too, like Bubble Breaker, which are basic suits that we've seen plenty of times that are pretty fun to play with. We also have access to Pocket MSN, and you'll notice that there are practically very good speeds on this phone. Not a lot of sluggishness, which is certainly great for a smartphone of this size. That it also functions well. It's not just style or substance. There's voice recognition built in for voice commands, and that's pretty easy to set up. You do need to set up it first, and while I do that, talk, call. Sorry for that, but I kind of messed it up there. But it's easy to command things like call people, 425, call mom, call office, call something like that. And it's also easy to launch features, so it's just a pretty cool feature, again, to have. There's the videos and photos, that we kind of showed you that before. And this device comes pre-bundled with its own media center and live search functions in case you want that. In addition, as a smartphone, it comes preloaded with all the features that we've seen, like Outlook, Calendar, along with tasks, so that you can take different things, like give you notes to different things to do. There's voice notes as well, in order to say some voice notes, and voice quality on this is fairly nice. It's better. It's a better phone than it is a voice recorder, because when you test some things like singing a little bit, voices get a little rough and pitchy on the top. But as a phone, the call quality is really solid, and communications and bar levels didn't drop very much. So overall, for a super solid device with a super solid battery life, an overall stylish package with a unique twist on Windows Mobile 5.0, if you must have a QWERTY keyboard and a good device and a solid smartphone all in one, then a Motorola Q can be your candidate. There are a few disadvantages, but you can find them all out at OSNVTXreviews.com. Thank you for watching. The Motorola